Hey, and welcome to AI Mistakes. Listen, AI is really moving rapidly. Every day there's a new discovery that gets shared. And if you've ever been a gamer, you understand that gaming and AI have a very, very important relationship. But what I'm going to show you today is very, very different. And I think it could very well be the future of gaming. It has tremendous potential. We're in the early days, but I was completely blown away with what I saw this week. Really incredible. And I need to share it with you. So let's talk about Minecraft and AI transforming the future of gaming. Well, listen, I don't know if you've ever played Minecraft. You may not even know what Minecraft is. But I do. And it's a game that I have enjoyed playing. There's some really creative and fun elements of Minecraft. And I would definitely say that it is probably worth the amount of money that Microsoft paid for it. It has been a tremendously popular game, despite the fact that it's not a super high fidelity experience. In fact, I actually think that that is part of the charm in Minecraft. But what I'm going to share with you now is something that's completely different. And there is an organization that's out there trying to find new ways to leverage the power of transformers and create entirely new gaming experiences. But before I do that, I want to cover a little bit about the history of Minecraft because I need you to have the context of where we've been and what's been happening. All the way back in 2009, Marcus Persson spent 2 years developing Minecraft. It took quite a bit of time, but eventually the 1.0 version came out in November of 2011. That was almost 13 years ago. We're just a couple of days away from the anniversary, the 13th anniversary of the creation of Minecraft. And it's a pretty fun game. I mean, look, it's very much about being creative, okay? But the thing is, over the evolution of Minecraft, it began to get attention. Microsoft agreed to buy Mojang, the video game company that led to the development and expansion of Minecraft. $2.5 billion. That's an incredible amount of money to pay for a game. But Microsoft had big plans. It wasn't just about the game because there was a lot behind it. See, Microsoft was trying to get into the gaming business, but they were also trying to expand their offering. They had already been working on the Xbox. They wanted to expand their capabilities there, but there's even more to the story than that. See, it was a different kind of game that led to some major opportunities for how the game could be expanded. Now, my first experience with Minecraft was actually on the Raspberry Pi, and that, as an educational platform, had some opportunities for you to interact with Minecraft. It was the very early version of Minecraft before it got big and popular, and I thought it was a pretty neat thing. But as things evolved, Microsoft found new ways to use Minecraft, and this is one of those. Unfortunately, the current version of the Project Malmo page doesn't work on the internet, and I had to use the Wayback Machine. Archive.org saved the day, giving us the picture of the team that you see here that was working on Project Malmo. What they did inside of Microsoft Research, it's pretty fascinating work. What they did was find new ways to apply the latest in research, and they did it using Minecraft. They did it because Minecraft is really ideal for artificial intelligence research. So you see, what we already understand is that this concept of using AI and leveraging Minecraft to conduct research is not an entirely new idea. Microsoft started doing it all the way back in 2016. But it has consistently shown itself as a great platform for learning those things. Now, there is the traditional gaming AI that's in the game that runs, the character experience and the animals. I mean, if you go back to the wonderful rendering that they have on Minecraft.net, you see the animals are roaming around, and that is a form of artificial intelligence that runs the motion and controls the interaction and the things that happen in the game. But this research was entirely different. It was based around leveraging the power of AI to understand the environment it was in. So, conducting this research, they were able to create a series of experiences where they were implementing and working with the technology to understand what the AI could learn to do. Now, this is where I want to cover the most important element of what was happening here. They were doing this most advanced research in a game because they needed a safe place. Because the reality is, when you're doing this sort of cutting edge research, there are going to be mistakes. But this is the best kind of mistake that they were dealing with. In fact, the entire thing I'm going to share with you tonight is really around making growth mistakes. It's putting it out there and experimenting, learning how it works, and putting it to good use so that you can do something that's never, ever been done before. And some people look at what I'm going to show you tonight and they shake their head and they say, oh, that's terrible. Why would you even share that? It's not any good. It's not good enough. But the reality is, if you can use your imagination and draw a parallel between what we've already seen in the world of AI and really understand what's happening with this capability, there's a major future here that we need to talk through. So let's keep going. So Microsoft begins doing this research through Project Malmo. They're working on cutting edge AI research. And then we get a little bit into the future, and now we're getting to advanced artificial intelligence research. Now, we've talked here on the program about AI agents, and I would say that one of the reasons this came up, and one of the reasons why I felt like this really needed to be covered on the channel right now, is because AI agents are a very pivotal topic in the world of generative AI. It's going to dramatically change our own experiences, how we interact with computers. I really can't say enough about the work, the research, and the actual implementations that I'm seeing. There's basically not a day that goes by now that I don't see some commentary, discussion, or demonstration of AI in an agentic fashion. And this is one of the first cases of leveraging agents in a situation to do something. This team set upon the idea of, I wonder if we could build a way for an AI to interact with this world in a completely autonomous way. Not just doing a few basic things, but actually being challenged to do incredibly complex tasks in the game, leveraging the power of AI. And there are multiple different dimensions, multiple different ways that people have tried to take advantage of this concept of Minecraft and leverage it for doing AI research. This is yet another distinction. WorldGAN, this paper these guys wrote, they were basically leveraging this concept of the way that Minecraft generates these worlds and building content generation. And this is a pivotal paper for what we're going to talk about, because ultimately it's combining these ideas of understanding the gameplay, being able to operate in Minecraft, and combining that with generation. It's a little bit complex. And again, what you're going to see is pretty basic in some ways, but it's also incredibly demonstrable of what's going to be possible in the future. And that is yet the last piece of this that I want to help you understand. When we are thinking about testing these new capabilities and trying new things, this is all about demonstrating what's possible. And when we're applying these concepts in entirely new ways, it also leads to entirely new discoveries. When you find an incredible use case, And then you can expand that and imagine what the future looks like. New challenges come about. And from those challenges are the biggest of opportunities. So, what I want to start with is talking about the companies that are behind what I'm going to show you. The first is Etched. And Etched has been working on this technology. They have built this project, and it's completely open and available for you to begin working with. If you're a researcher, this is an incredible opportunity because they made it totally available. They have built an experience called Oasis. In partnership with another company called Descartes, they have built Oasis that essentially generates the Minecraft world frame by frame without the game being present at all. Now, they have done some training. The model has learned and played and interacted with Minecraft to a significant degree, and it is able to represent that world, including interacting with the landscape. If you want to build something, taking and collecting objects, storing them in chests, managing the health of the avatar in the game, all of those things have been captured by the model, and they are then rendered with a diffusion transformer. And this is really cutting edge research. But you're able to download this and start working with it. Now, it does require a proprietary environment right now to render at the 22 frames per second that it does in the demo I'm about to show you. But they've made this available to you and I to interact with on the World Wide Web. So I'm going to put a link in the description. You'll be able to access all of this pages that I'm going to share with you, and you'll get a chance to interact with it. But I'm going to show it to you tonight because it absolutely blew me away. And even though it does not do it in a perfect fashion, this is an incredible leap forward. But again, that's not the whole of it, right? Etched has been working on this interactive, explorable world. It's captured all of these details in the model and it renders it for you. And what is really fascinating here is that another major thing happened this week with Etched. They've raised $120 million for this brand new capability. It's called Sohu. And basically, it's a transformer system in a chip. Now, for those of you that aren't in the hardware world, that may not mean a great deal to you when we talk about an ASIC, but ASICs are really essential to some of the most modern, complex things that we work on today. Firstly, a dedicated ASIC allows you to optimize the performance for a very specific task. And there are a few key places where this concept of an ASIC, where the entire logic is actually built into the chip and it's purpose built. One of them is actually Bitcoin mining. In fact, almost the entirety of all Bitcoin mining now does not take place on any standard general purpose system, but instead it's built on dedicated purpose built hardware with ASICs that are wholly intended and optimized for identifying that next code hash for adding to the blockchain. In this case, for AI, we're talking about a chip that is able to perform this transformer logic. It's purpose built, and it can do so at 500,000 tokens per second. Now, they've given us a visual illustration of this on the screen, showing you what 8 H100s is capable of. Then moving into the 8 B200s, there are even more newer chips that are becoming available today, but you can see the magnitude of change that we're talking about here. 500,000 tokens a second is what they're going to be able to do with this hardware. And they're showing us what they can do with Llama, the 70 billion version. And it's going to run things incredibly fast. It's going to allow us to do things that we really didn't imagine possible. If you can think about being able to basically process an entire library in moments and deeply interact with it, talk to it in real time, generate video in real time is an incredible capability. And we haven't really even begun to scratch the surface of what's possible. But what they've done in creating this environment for Oasis is really impressive. And here we have a rendering actually of that environment. Oasis is a live environment where you can interact with Minecraft. It's like playing Minecraft, but there's no installation of Minecraft. It's entirely generated from the model. So what I'm going to show you right now is we're going to pull this up and I'm going to play the demo because I think it's really fascinating and you need to see it. I would also encourage you to go out to their website and actually, play with it. Like see what it looks like for yourself. I'm not going to do the sound because I'm going to be talking over it. But this demonstrator is also a really great experience. I think they did a fantastic job with the demo here to help you understand what they've actually been able to do with the technology, because this is this is a novel approach. A few weeks ago, we saw the game Doom was playable in a generated environment, but this goes a level deeper because it's captured very complex logic in an accurate way. When we saw the Doom game, there were a lot of elements in that execution that weren't quite right, and Google did that work. This is parallel to that Google work, but it captures the mechanics of the game much better, and they've got a lot of elements here that you can play with. You can even upload your own scene to play with in Oasis. You do this with a screenshot. I'm not going to go into that. I'm actually going to show you the village outpost. And as we get into this, I want you to pay close attention to the environment that is around the scene. And because this is a very popular site right now, it's actually getting a lot of hits, and we're going to wait a minute. I'll talk over this before I jump into the live experience. There's a couple of things that I want you to notice. I want you to notice the scenery and how it captures what's going on around you, because that is a very important detail. Now, again, this is rendering at 20 frames per second. So if you are playing a simulation, 20 frames a second is enough for you to experience it like it is a realistic simulation. It's not quite good enough to trick the eyes in. I mean, you're going to know that it's running in software, okay? But it's enough for you to understand the concept at a very high level. Almost all video runs at something like not less than 25 frames per second. So 20 is very close to that. And it allows you to see and interact with the environment like you're actually playing the game. It really does feel game-like when you're in there and operating it. It does have some key limitations, though. One of the limitations is it has a memory of 3 seconds. Now, what does that mean? It means that when it's rendering that experience for you, it only remembers up to 3 seconds ago. So if you are moving around a lot, if you're making major shifts in the viewpoint, and that persists for more than 3 seconds, it's going to lose what you're looking at. And that is very important to the experience, because memory is really essential to how we operate. And this is one of the sort of more controversial aspects of this software development capability that I'm really intrigued by. We all have memories from childhood and from working in different environments. What we love, what the human brain really loves, is being able to predict what happens next. So if you've played a classic game like Super Mario Brothers on the Nintendo, which has had many incantations since then, so it's a pretty widely experienced game, you know how to operate in that environment. If you haven't touched that game in decades, you can sit down and play it successfully. You remember a lot about that gameplay experience, how to move around, where things are. And what's interesting is that the advantage here is that you can generate very quickly a totally brand new experience. So it allows you to experience something novel without having that experience of memory. And that's a good news and a bad news thing, right? Because when we look at it, maybe you want a new experience. Maybe that's what you're looking for. But I know for me, particularly as I look back on the games that I've experienced over time in my childhood, I want to go back and have that same experience again. It is something that I seek out, being able to get in there and remember that experience and perform well at it, because I do remember it. So I think there's some very mixed things about this experience, but that sort of dynamic play is something that players are seeking. And so I can definitely see this capability continuing to grow. We're still having trouble getting into the experience, so I'm actually gonna keep moving through, and we'll come back and try this again a little bit later. Let's keep going because this isn't the only story about AI and Minecraft that I want to cover tonight. What you need to see next is if you've actually played Minecraft, maybe you thought, man, it sure would be cool if I could actually go into Minecraft and play the game with an AI that helps me, that's my friend. Well, this too has been researched. There's a team that went out there and actually worked on this idea of an agent, and they put an agent inside of Minecraft to do those complex tasks. Now, what they did with Voyager, and this is a few months back in time, but this is still very cutting edge. This idea of setting an agent loose to learn and understand how to do things. It learned all its own how to accomplish the actual tasks. So, what they were able to do was, through a series of prompting mechanisms, build a skill library. So, you could actually go in and interact with text to the agent and say, let's fight the zombie. Let's craft a sword. Let's build a house. All of those functions become available as a skill. So you can be working collaboratively with an AI tool operating in the Minecraft environment. And this is really important because there are two things going on here that you need to be aware of. One, they were successful in being able to build the skill library. But two, they were able to do it in a way that was iterative and incremental, leveraging the experiences of the world environment of Minecraft to learn and understand how those tasks needed to be accomplished. And this is a really cool thing. Now, Microsoft, all the way back when they were doing their own research, recognized that there was opportunity for connecting with AI, and they have multiple different experiences that they have built for education purposes. So they actually have an entire learning environment that's set up, and I'll put a link in the comments below. One of my kids actually had a chance to work with Minecraft and use this learning environment to interact with Minecraft. They're using all of the concepts in Minecraft to help kids learn about computing and accomplish tasks by programming and giving instructions to the computer. So they've used Minecraft in a lot of different ways, well more than gaming. And I think this is a really exciting development. But somebody took it a little bit further and they've created Mindcraft. And again, this is a project that you can go and download. You can implement this on your own computer. If you have access to Minecraft, you can install this project along with some additional requirements and actually choose a large language model to interact with in the game, and it will collaboratively work with you in the game. Now, some of the models are better than others. Based on the research I've done, it looks like Anthropic's Claude actually is the best at collaboratively working in the environment. But as you can see here, you can leverage any of many different API keys to interact with this, including Olama, which will run locally. So you don't even need a cloud environment to work with this. And I really can't wait to open this up and start working with it. I didn't know this existed a few days ago. And my kids are playing Minecraft. And honestly, with all of the AI things that I've been doing, while it's fun to build in Minecraft, being able to ask a bot to do something for me instead of me having to do all of the work of mining or placing the blocks to build a castle, that appeals to me. I really like that idea. So go out there and get yourself an API. You can register. You have to give them your credit card because these API cloud setups, obviously, you're going to spend some money. And of course, the more you play with it, the more money you're going to spend in leveraging that API. But if you're new to getting your hands dirty with AI, this is a really fun way to do it because it lets you experiment. It lets you understand what it takes to get an API key,
download some code and plug it into the code, and then jump in and play the game. Go and have fun. Uh, I've been playing Minecraft since it came out on the Raspberry Pi. As my kids got older, they wanted to play, so we wound up diving into Bedrock. And I actually bought the Bedrock edition through Microsoft because I've got a lot of Windows computers around, and haven't touched the Java edition since the Raspberry Pi. What I found out in doing my research tonight is that they've continued to maintain the Java version. This Minecraft tool requires the Java edition, so for playing with the kids, I'll have to get them to switch over to the Java edition. But one of the things I found out tonight was that actually, if you have the Bedrock edition bought from the Microsoft Store, they now let you install the Java version as a part of that license. So it looks like I will not have to buy yet another edition of Minecraft to continue experimenting with this. I think this is really fascinating. It's a really great opportunity to understand the differences between the models in a world environment, because you have to understand this isn't just the text base. This is actually interacting with what's going on. Now, the dirty secret here is the way that this operates on the back end. Anthropic or GPT-4 is not actually interacting in a visual way. So while you and I are seeing it on the screen, the way that they're accomplishing their tasks is by leveraging the log and how things are done. And this does lead to some kind of funny things that happen. There are definitely some AI mistakes in the way that this is implemented, but I could see that very quickly we're going to move to a visual implementation of this. And I think that's going to be yet another breakthrough, because being able to operate at the speed of taking in all of the data from the screen is going to be another challenge to overcome. So some really fun things here to play with in Minecraft. Let's try our Oasis demo one more time. Well, we're still waiting for our turn. So look, I've got a backup plan. We'll dive into it a different way. I discovered all of this through Twitter, and in collecting my thoughts and getting things together, I said, I swear I saw something about OpenAI doing something, and lo and behold, I found it. They have been working on actually training GPT to play Minecraft. And that's also one of the reasons why these APIs getting connected through this Minecraft project are valid, because they've actually been working on this. And if you look at the footage, they show the bot interacting. And what's interesting to me looking back at this is that this has been kind of a passion project for a lot of folks, because there's a simplified interaction model for dealing with Minecraft. There's a lot of opportunity for discovery, and it's fun. Like, this is something that is really interesting to work with, and they've done a lot of great work to bring this to fruition. I'm certain that they've trained the model on the visuals. So I bet if you connected and opened up a session right now in ChatGPT and gave it a screenshot of Minecraft, it would be able to answer questions and give you instructions on how to interact with that. It's probably not too far from being able to connect to it and have it play the game. If you saw any of the news in the last couple of weeks, you know that Claude is now able to operate a computer. And I think having Claude actually run the computer with the screen, analyzing the screen and interacting with Minecraft is a heartbeat away. I'm almost surprised that I didn't see it in the news this week. But there are lots of opportunities for you to interact with this. Here is the view of Oasis. So as you see here, it really does look like Minecraft. You have all of the accessible tools. You have the health. You have the life and hunger. And you're able to operate in the environment looking around. And you can look down at the ground, interact with the grass, and dig and build. But as you notice, when they look away at the clouds and come back to the terrain has changed. And it's because of this limitation of 3 seconds. So the environment completely changes. But this is just a real technology demonstrator of what's possible. I think there's a huge opportunity here. And as the memory gets better and as the frames per second processing gets better through Etch's new proprietary hardware that's going to be able to work through an incredible pace of token generation, there's some real opportunity coming. But you can fully interact with the environment and explore and look around. So it's definitely something that's interesting to look at. Now, what's interesting about this experience too is that as you're getting into this, they're helping you understand what's possible, and that they really did do a significant amount of training to make this happen. As you're exploring the environment, you have a lot of different terrains that you can look through and choose the one that you're most interested in. But it's completely implemented in the browser. Now, two things here, right? It's very pixelated because it is streaming that to you on your computer over the internet, and it's a small window. But it does what it needs to do, and it demonstrates exactly how it works really well. Now, this is also not the first experiment that has been done with Minecraft and diffusion models. Here we have from quite a while ago, someone had taken Minecraft and used it as input to Stable Diffusion. What's cool about this is they're actually taking the Minecraft view and turning it into a more lifelike, realistic render of the environment. So again, we have a game that's fun to play that also is really enabling new experiences and experiments with AI, because it gives you a very straightforward way to interface and work with AI. So really cool developments there. This is yet a third incantation of that, slightly different with a different image model. This is image to image instead of Stable Diffusion. And they have tuned it with additional prompts. So leveraging the input of the visuals, kind of using it as a sketch pad, and then adding the prompting to that, it's doing even more and generating an environment. And I think this is a really cool way to actually give input to the system. It's a little easier, especially from a 3D perspective, to interact with this. Really cool. And then this is an even better version, Minecraft to reality, where again, they've taken a detailed model in Minecraft. And actually, I mean, this is a pretty neat Minecraft environment, honestly. Somebody did a lot of work to put that together. But now you're getting a realistic, lifelike rendering in the environment by leveraging what you see in Minecraft. So we're going to see a lot of opportunity for how to build things in a much more simplified way and have a high fidelity experience produced from that. I think that's really exciting to see this develop all the way through the generation. And if you can think about what we're seeing here with Minecraft to reality, you can imagine that just getting the Minecraft game in real-time rendering is one thing, but the graphics are going to continue to improve. Minecraft is just the first step because it's easier to get that rendering. We're going to have an incredible future ahead of us, and the future is really bright. Amazing things for the future of gaming. I hope you've enjoyed this discussion. I hope you're getting a lot out of the channel. Tonight, we've learned about Minecraft and AI and transforming the future. Don't be shy. Drop a comment, share the video. Let me hear from you. I would also appreciate if you'd give me a subscribe on YouTube, as we're trying to grow the channel and have these discussions. But the takeaway here is the mistakes, right? This group didn't let the low fidelity stop them from sharing it with the world. You know, some people like to make fun of people trying things out. And in this case, I really think that the team at Oasis deserves a lot of praise. They've done a really great job of demonstrating this from a technology standpoint. And of course, there's more purpose here, right? For Etched, they're building hardware that's going to make this a reality. And that's an incredible opportunity, right? Being able to couple hardware with advanced models, and then you too can go out there and play with this. It's totally open for you to play with. Download it, start working with it. Imagine the next team is going to take yet a different game and apply this model to it. We're going to see all sorts of amazing projects come out of these developments. And it's all due to not being afraid of the mistakes, getting your hands dirty, working with the AI to understand what's possible and start working on it. Because I guarantee you, these kinds of things are going to continue to happen. Every day, there's a brand new AI capability that's dropped. And if you know how to apply it because you've been working with it, that sets you on a path to be ahead of the curve, to be in demand, to build your skill set and apply it to do incredible new things. So I want to encourage you now, go out, let's make some mistakes. We'll see you next time.